Hey everyone, I wanted to put this tutorial together to show anybody who's never used PowerPoint or anybody who needs a refresher on how to edit within PowerPoint, some more information about how to use this template. So when you first open the template, there may be a bar up here that says Enable Editing. Make sure you click Enable Editing before you start. There are two fonts in this file. There is a title font that is Dosis, and then there's a secondary font, which is Cormorant Garamond. If you're finding that either of these are not showing up properly, it may mean that the embedded fonts didn't get installed properly onto your computer. So you can go to Google Fonts, and that's just fonts.google.com. And you can search for Dosis and Cormorant Garamond, and you'll be able to download these to your computer and right-click the files and install them yourself. So just make sure those fonts are activated and looking properly as you open the file before you keep going. Within this file, there are two master slides. So the slide master is something that dictates the background of the slide, and it always shows up in the same place, and it's not editable in the direct slide editing view. So if you want to change this sidebar, which you will because I have put some text here that says change your name, put your location and site name here, and then you'll want to change this information to exercise 1. What you do is go to View, Slide Master. Now initially it's going to show you the slide that you are actually on at that moment. To get up to the actual master file, you need to scroll up until you see this larger parent file show up. So once you see this larger parent file, you can click on it, and that's where you'll want to make all of your edits on this sidebar. So then you can add your name, add your location, the site name here, and then add in your exercise number here. You can also change the number of pages you have once you are finished your presentation. So say you have 12 pages, you would just edit the last number there to say 12. But if you don't want to show the number of pages, it's totally fine. You could just delete that text if you don't want it. To get out of this, you can just go Close Master File. And now your text changes will be saved automatically. So to use this presentation file, you'll see that there are 43 different layouts. I want to go through and just take a look at the different options for presenting imagery and select a few, maybe 5 or 6 different layouts that you think are going to work best for you. So right now, as the stage you're at is site analysis, you'll probably have a bunch of series of photos. You may have a series of sketches. You probably won't have some of these other things like sections or detail plans or anything like that. So take a look through the options here and select a few slides that you think are going to work really well for you based on the material that you already have. So if I'm selecting something, maybe I want this file which has maybe a place to put some historical maps. I'm going to choose this file. I like the look of this one to show different types of planting. I'll take this one. Yeah, I think that's good. So you can select multiple slides by holding down Control and just clicking on them. So once you have your slides that you want to use selected, you can just drag them up and underneath the other slides that you want to use. So let's say that I want to have this full screen image. I'm going to have at least one square image because we're going to be showing our figure ground. And then I have all of the rest of these slides, and I can move those around just by dragging them like this. So with the rest of the slides that I'm not going to use, I can just click on one and press Shift and click on the bottom and press Delete. And that will get rid of all the rest of the slides that I'm not going to be using. Now, what if you want to duplicate a slide or make a copy of something? So say, for example, I want to have a table of contents, but I also want to use this layout to show my figure ground. You can right-click and go Duplicate Slide, and then you can move it around wherever you want just by dragging it. Now, if you don't want the text, which of course you probably don't if you're doing a figure ground presentation, you can just delete it there. and all of the text is editable directly on the screen. If you run out of space, you can use these handles to create more space on the page for the text. So you need to know, how do you switch out the images here? There's a few ways to do it. One is to just right click on the image, which will bring up a flyout menu, and you can go change picture from file. That will help you navigate to your computer, and you'll just select a file and it will get replaced in here. Another way to do it is just to delete the picture that you see. That's going to leave you with this layout master, and you can add your new picture by clicking this central icon here. That's going to open up your navigation, and you'll be able to select a new photo from somewhere on your computer. Let's say that you've changed out a photo, but you want to shift it around within this frame. To do that, you're going to right click and go to crop. The crop menu opens up and you're able to move an image back and forth like this, or you can use these resizing handles to size it up or down. And you could even, if you want to, change the actual image frame size itself. So let's say this one isn't perfectly square and you want to accommodate the entirety of your figure ground, you can move the handle wherever you want here. Note that this will just change the layout of this particular page, and if you were to delete this image, it would go back to the exact way it was in the layout template. So you don't have to ever worry that you're accidentally changing the template itself. It's always there in the background. All the edits that you do on these slides are just happening on these slides. Now let's say you're working in this template and you realize actually you need another type of page and none of these are really working for you. You can always right click and go to new slide, and then that will bring up the exact same configuration as the slide you were previously working on. If you wanted to change it, you can go to layout and select from the different layouts that are available. These are all the layouts that were originally created in the file. So even though you deleted the pages, the layouts are still there. So if you need a different type of layout, for example, you want to compare 4 vertical images, you can definitely add it. You can also change the layout of the slide you already have if you want to change this layout. So we have 6 images here. Maybe we want to change that to a collage. You could do that. Now note that it's keeping the text from the background. The text is not a part of the template. This is added onto the slides themselves. So this text is all editable. You can move it around if you want, or if you want to get rid of it, you can just delete it. Now with this layout, now that we've changed it, if you want, you can go ahead and move it around. I see that we still have a menu here, so I'm going to get rid of that. You could move these pictures around to suit yourself, and if you need to change the order of this, so let's say we want this image to be on top of all the rest, you would right click and go bring to front. That's going to change the order of the image. If you want to revert to the original template, you can right click and go reset slide. That's going to reset it to the most recently updated layout that you had. So you see all of the moves and ordering changes are back to the way they were in the original slide. If you want to get back to the first slide, you could either go back to your layouts panel and select the ordering of those 6 images, though you note that your text is gone. Or you can just use Control Z to go back in time and get back to the slide the way it was before. If you need to delete a slide, of course, you can right click and go delete, or select it and press delete. I think that's pretty much it for editing this template. And if you run into any issues or have any extra questions, make sure that you visit the discussion board and post them there, or hold on to those questions and we can talk about them in Monday in your work session.